Hey guys, Josh here from Sportitude Running. Today is going to be a shoe review and we're going to be comparing the new Mizuno Wave Rider 27 against the Mizuno Wave Rider 26. And side by side, you can tell there's not a lot of difference. All the difference in this shoe is in the upper, but it wouldn't be a shoe review if I didn't go through all the important statistics and features of this shoe. So we will cover the outsole, midsole, and dial into the changes that Mizuno have made to the upper. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. So first things first, the foot type that should be considering the Mizuno Wave Rider is the neutral to mildly supinated foot type. So for those of you at home who are wondering what that is specifically, it is a runner who comes through their transition, lands on contact point, comes to mid-stance, and there is little to no favour towards that medial side. Now, if you happen to be a mild overpronator, like myself, I can comfortably run in the Mizuno Wave Rider 27 and 26. It's A-OK. But if you're neutral to mildly supinating, which is more towards the outside pressure through here, this shoe is one that you can certainly consider if all the other criteria ticks the boxes for you. So being a balanced cushion shoe, the Wave Rider 27 is targeting someone that's looking for some cushioning underneath their foot, who's doing longer kilometres out in the road. So it could be anything north of 20 minutes, right up to an hour, hour and a half plus. Now, the reason we say that is because if you're looking for cushioning, or extra cushioning, you might go to the Wave Sky from the Mizuno running family. But if you like a bit of a combination of cushioning but balance and response, the Wave Rider certainly falls right into that conversation for you. Okay, comparison time. Wave Rider 27, Wave Rider 26. And let's start from the ground and work our way up. So, side by side, you can see there is no change from last season's model to this new season. So what Mizuno have done with their outsole, they have X10 rubber on offer at the back of the shoe through here. So that's highlighted by this yellow compound of rubber. Now that is a more durable compound. It's designed that way for the heel strikers that make first point of contact with the ground. Heel strikers, general rule of thumb, do hit the ground a little bit harder. So you do need a slightly more durable rubber on offer at the back of the shoe through here, which is exactly what they have done and achieved. Exactly the same with the 26, of course. Coming through to the forefoot, we can see we have a blown rubber on offer. So it's a lighter, slightly softer compound of rubber, which is going to allow the shoe to transition a little bit easier and be slightly more responsive on toe off. What you can see through here is there is a vertical split between the outsole. Now, what that'll do is it'll provide a little bit more support throughout the ball of the foot for your late stage transition out of your gait cycle. And obviously speaking directly to those neutral to supinated foot types. Supinated foot types tend to require a little bit more flexibility on the lateral side of the outsole, hence why you can see that exposed piece of midsole through here. And talking to the midsole, let's jump straight to that right now. Again, nothing has changed. I'll keep the 26 here and hold the 27 in my hand. First things first, stack height wise, we have 38.5 millimeters in the heel, 26.5 millimeters through the forefoot. The offset there is 12 mil. Nothing has changed. We have got the Mizuno Energy midsole on offer. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with that compound of foam, it isn't the softest foam in the market, but it does provide an ample amount of cushioning on entry, be it heel, midfoot, or forefoot running. But the great thing about the Energy midsole, it does provide a smooth transition throughout the whole gait cycle, and it has a little bit more pop as you exit out of your gait cycle as well. So it is a really good balanced midsole. We have a lot of positive feedback with this technology, and the great thing about Mizuno is they're continuing obviously with that compound in Wave Rider 27. And it wouldn't be a Wave shoe if we didn't have that TPU split wave plate on offer, and you can see it through here. It is splitting the midsole on the lateral and the medial side. That has been strategically placed there to provide a little bit more of what we classify mid-stance stability with this shoe. So when you make contact with the ground, you're transitioning through mid-stance, that wave plate just provides a really stable transition, keeps your foot on top of that midsole, nice and balanced as you transition through to your release out of your gait cycle. Okay, let's talk to the change within the Wave Rider 27 from 26. Engineered Jacquard Air Mesh. That's what Mizuno are claiming is in the top of this shoe. And I can tell you right now, it is pretty similar to what we had in the 26. There's a couple of subtle changes, which we'll talk about right now. I'll start at the back of the shoe. Internal heel counter, which is vitally important for a shoe like this. Still the same amount of support around the back of the heel and calcaneus. and also the same amount of memory foam and the same materials used inside this heel collar through here. So that was a good thing, because I think the positivity with the 26 was it was a really good deep structure at the back through here, and a lot of people like that fit and feel around the back of their heel. So keeping that integrity in the 27 has been a great move from Mizuno. As you come through to the midfoot, what we have through here is we have a gusseted tongue, pardon me, which is exactly what you'd want with a shoe like this. So gusseted tongue, the tongue is attached to the midsole on the lateral and the medial side, so keeping that foot nice and stable on top. And as you transition through to the forefoot of this shoe, this is where most of the change occurs. What we have found just from our own internal testing here and from my own experience running in the 27 is that we have a little bit more room in the toe box. Now, I wouldn't sit there and say it's catastrophically different, because it's not. We don't want to see too much change through here, but inside the Wave Rider 26, I could have been arguably maybe a 9.5. I did run in the 9 in this shoe, but I reckon I could have run a 9.5 and been pretty comfortable. I have found the 9 in the Wave Rider 27 to fit perfectly, and the reason being is there's a little bit more volume up top through that forefoot. Being that engineered jacquard air mesh, what you're going to get is you're going to get a light but strong cold in regards to the overall take of the upper. So you want breathability in a shoe like this, and you get it. It's a shoe that's going to spend plenty of time out in the road, so you want to get plenty of ventilation through the top of that foot to reduce the amount of swelling that may occur with your distance running. And the other call out I would like to address is they have ever so slightly reinforced the lateral and the medial side of this shoe, being the 27 from the 26. Feedback was that we were seeing a little bit of unusual wear on the attachment midsole to upper on the medial and the lateral side. So just spending a little bit more time, just that subtle attention to detail, we will find that this shoe will hold up a little bit better, and that's a good thing. I mean, if you're buying or investing in a shoe like this, you do want it to be structurally stable and the integrity to be in the areas that you do require. So for those of you coming from Wave Rider 26, you're going to find the Wave Rider 27 to be absolutely fine. If you happen to be running in a Brooks Ghost, a Gel Cumulus Well, and you want to think about another shoe to add into that conversation, I would certainly recommend trying this shoe. It'd be one that I'd highly recommend giving a go, that's for sure. And just from my perspective, my initial thoughts on this shoe, I just always like to let you know at home what I've thought with the Wave Rider 27. Of course, underneath the foot, nothing changed. The performance from 26 to 27 was exactly the same. Really good, consistent ride, cushioning in the areas that I liked, and nice and stable and responsive through the forefoot. But as I addressed in the upper part of this review, I did find there to be just ever so slightly a little bit more wriggle room. And I can't recall if I'd changed my socks. I mean, I've been using feature socks now for 12 to 18 months, and I might have been wearing a different sock with the 26, but I'll be pretty confident to say that I would have been using the same sock. So I do think there is a little bit more wriggle room inside the 27, which I think is a positive thing with this shoe. And to call out the upper widths, we have widths, both men's and women's. Standard width in both men's and women's, being a D in the men's and a B in the women's. And then the wide offering as well, 2E men's and the D offering in the ladies, which is a good thing. So there you have it, guys. That's my take on the Wave Rider 27. If you've used the Wave Rider franchise in the past, let us know which one has been your favourite over the journey, and let us know which one's been a miss. We always like to hear both ends of the spectrum. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the red button, stay notified, and we'll keep pumping out these shoe reviews for you, the fabulous running community all over the world. We love hearing your stories, and we love helping you find the appropriate shoes to make sure that you can chase your PBs and enjoy everything that running has to offer. So until next time, be kind to one another, stay safe, happy running, and we'll see you out on the road. Take care.